As an author, where should you be taking your feedback from? There's a lot of advice out there. There's a lot of good advice and bad advice, and there's a lot of people with a lot of voices who definitely want to speak into what you're doing. So for you as an author, you have to understand where you're going to draw the line. Who are you taking information from? Who are you taking advice from? Who are you taking criticism and feedback from? If you open yourself up to criticism and information and feedback from everybody, you're getting a lot of noise and a lot of unqualified noise. So you have to be very specific. Who are you willing to take advice from? You need to draw some lines for yourself. Now, this is what I do for me and what I recommend most of you do, but this is, again, your decision. It comes up to what you need to do that is best for your career and for you to be able to function. So keep in mind, you should not have a bunch of places you're taking feedback from. Too many cooks in the kitchen, right? It means that if you have too many voices, you're not going to get qualified feedback to be able to take that in and make some changes for the better for you, your brand, and your writing. So you need to be very specific about who you're going to listen to. For me, I do not take advice, criticism, feedback, anything from people who are not qualified. And qualified means they are in the industry and they understand how things work. People who have already walked the path, who have done more than I have, or at least are at the same point as me, and who understand this industry really well. I take my advice from other authors, publishers, editors, people who have been in this industry for a long time and understand how the marketplace works. They understand the grammar, the rules, the structure of publishing. They understand the changes that have happened. Not everybody keeps up to date with what's going on, and they study actively the industry. I do not take my advice from people who are brand new authors. I do not take my advice from readers. I do not take my advice from people who haven't seen behind the curtain of the publishing space. So while people have lots of opinions and lots of things that they can say, and they might be really well read, they are not qualified to speak into my business. If they have not run their own version of the business that I am running, they don't know enough information about that business and that industry to speak into me. So while reviews are nice and while fan feedback is nice, those people are not qualified to speak into the business side of things. And writing is a business. They're going to have ideas on what they like. They might have ideas on, what some of the tropes and things are, but they're not qualified to speak into my business. So the only people that I allow to have opinions that affect my opinions, that means I am taking in the information from them and I am using it to internalize it and to decide what I'm then going to do in my business. Because lots of people can chatter. Lots of people can say lots of things. I don't have to listen to it. I listen to the people who have walked the path before me or are walking alongside of me and understand, because there's so much from the writing side, from the publishing, from the marketing side, that if you're not behind that curtain, you simply don't know. Even when I was a very well-read reader who was also heavily studying marketing in the space and taught marketing professionally outside of the space, even though I was educating publishers and authors and helping them to make tons of money, there were things in the publishing space I didn't know until I got behind that curtain. So I will not take advice or recommendations or feedback or criticism or positive things from anybody that is not also in this space professionally. And even then, I'm not taking advice from everybody. And just anybody who's an author can give you feedback, advice, recommendations. They can talk to you about things, but it doesn't mean that that information can or should impact your career. You have to be very, very particular. So I only listen to people who are doing the thing I want to do. If I want to take my author life to the next level, and I see somebody who has done that and done it well, that's a person I'll listen to. If I see somebody who is right in the scheme of things with me, doing the thing that I'm doing, we can provide each other feedback. This is working, this isn't working. Hey, let's try this. Let's do this together. Those are the people I will listen to. But people who are backseat drivers or armchair, whatever they call that, now I'm forgetting, but the people who are armchair coaching, whatever that happens to be, those people haven't experienced this. They have not walked the path. They have not made the good and the bad decisions for themselves to be able to input into my life. So for you, as an author, if you have too many people feeding you information, it's going to make you explode and not be able to make decisions, and definitely not be able to make good decisions. You have to find a handful, 2, 3, maybe 4 trusted people who are in the same space or the next up space for you to be able to listen to. And then you have to be able to take their feedback and filter it through your business. Because just because my best author friend who is doing all the cool things and has done all the stuff and has made millions of dollars and all these things, just because they have done it doesn't mean they are doing it the same way I am or the same way that my business works. Now, again, this comes down to what topic you're getting advice on. It's going to be a little different for each thing. Writing advice is going to be a little bit different than marketing advice. It's going to be a little bit different than the advice that you were taking to get to $1 million every year, every month, every whatever. You need to take different things into consideration with that. And you can have different experts in your life or different people you're trusting for those different sections. I am not going to listen to marketing advice from somebody who's not marketing well, but if I know that they write really well and they understand the grammar rules and all the things that are changing and they get that, I'll listen to them for writing advice, but not for marketing advice. So you don't have to have the same 1, 2, 3 people for everything, but you do have to be incredibly focused on filtering it through what your business is like. You operate different than other people. So as long as it's not like, hey, here's a grammar thing we should look at, or here's like some structural things inside of your story that maybe you don't want it to pop up quite as much. Those are going to be a little bit different than, hey, let's talk about this for your business. Let's talk about this for marketing. So you want to make sure that you're filtering everything through what is going to work best for you. You can take an advice and not act on it. You can take an advice and figure out a better way to act on it. Having guides, having mentors, having people that do help speak into it is important. You're not an island. You are too close to your projects to be able to do everything on your own. So you absolutely need people, but you need qualified people that you can trust that can speak into what you are doing and how you're going to be doing it. So don't trust everybody. Be very picky about where you take your information from. And then use that to create what you need to do for your business, for the best part of your business so that you can grow. Do not listen to the noise. Be very clear about the advice that you take. And when it comes to taking that feedback, less is more. Less people who are more invested in your business and your success is going to do better, allowing you to make better decisions for yourself. Drop your questions on this down below and follow along for daily episodes helping you navigate the world of author life to make this your best author life possible with the least amount of stress and overwhelm so that you can still live your life while also living your author life. We'll see you in tomorrow's episode.